You're welcome to the part 2 Mastering Your Mind program. The journey to wellness, productivity, and talent leadership. Now, we have been exploring the DOTTECC wellness program. I said the primary focus is on wellness and general wellness in this experimental project. Eventually, we'll be coming up with more richer programs that will more squarely address how to enhance productivity and then talent leadership development. We're going to be doing that with time. But suffice it to say that some of the things we are doing now can still, in fact, not can, will, because of course it's a foundation and it's like a seed, they will ultimately also work towards enhancing our productivity and talent development if we do them rightly, definitely. And so we also emphasize the fact that even though it's a 7-day program, but at the end of the day, we discovered that so many of the things we have split into the different days actually should be done all together in a day to have a rich experience or impact of this program altogether. But because we are just being newly introduced, that's why we decided to, take each one each day so that you get used to how to implement each activity. So you can see some unique activity for each day, as it were. Like in day one of the unique activities, that joy journal, the gratitude exercise. And then the praise walk is number 2 there. Then number 3 there is thought capture. And then truth exchange, as it were. So those are the areas, that we focus on for day 1. And of course, you can see day 2. But some of those things, like I said, we may need to repeat them because they are very short, they are not too lengthy. So you can repeat them and compress, find a way to integrate everything into a day's program, as it were, to have greater impact, so to speak. And then the sleep hygiene, of course, is repeated. Then the 2, of course, we're also talking about your to-do list, which again is something we really need to do every day. Then deep breathing exercise, prayer pause exercise is there, and the sleep cycle. Then on the 3, we talked about reaching out and reconciling. So that one may not be every day, but in fact, the passing compliment should be a daily thing, and encouraging people should be a daily thing too. So it should be a daily thing, definitely. And then identity affirmation, I do that definitely every day. I declare those things, that the Lord says about me, and also make what I call it self-declaration. So they are very important to further affirm, because by the more you see, the more you experience the reality of those declarations and affirmations. Very important. So let's quickly now move on to day 4. What's unique about day 4? Although some of this, but yes, we hinted on this in day 1 quite all right, because I actually expect this to be integrated. And this, for instance, now, this singular, the purpose prompt reflection is, in fact, one particular exercise that we accelerate the fulfillment, the talent leadership development. What do you do in reflecting on your divine purpose? I want you to understand that, because some people have difficulty knowing their divine purpose. They begin to wonder, did they have to fast and pray 40 days before they know their purpose? No, it's not. You see, everything with God, I want you to understand that it's so simplified. God knows our nature. And so he is relating with us according to our ability. He knows our nature, that we are just human beings, as it were. So he's not making anything complex, and he's not expecting that you have to know how to to go to university before you can understand his purpose. So the things of God are so simplified. So how do you know? Your talent is your pointer to your purpose. Just understand this simple principle. God has already, every manufacturer, has the purpose of that thing in mind before programming and developing that thing. The same way, when God made us, he has programmed some special abilities into us. Our Gardner call it strong intelligences. And some of us have an area of strongest intelligence. That's your talent. That's your area of strength. And so when you discover that, your purpose will be aligned with it. You just discover that you have natural inclination to use that gift to be a blessing to mankind. That becomes your calling. That becomes your life assignment. That becomes your purpose. Very easy. It's not anything complex. Just looking what you see, it will overflow in the area of passion, something you have burden, a problem you have burden to solve. It comes so easy like that. It's not anything complex, please. So once you understand that purpose, reflect on your divine purpose, write it down, make it plain, so that you can see it, and every day put it in a place in front of you, where you can see it, and then you now make sure that everything you begin to do is aligned to that purpose. That is how you now emerge a leader. Can you imagine Mama Teresa? She has a passion and an inclination to help people, especially the indigent. She doesn't have the financial capacity. So that was how the popular quote came, that if you can feed 100 or 1,000, at least start with feeding one person. And that was exactly what she did. Because of her passion, she started with feeding from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. And before she died, she was feeding thousands, and she was known all over the world. She became a celebrity. It's not because we are looking for fame. Just follow your passion. That woman fulfilled her life assignment and purpose. And God was glorified in her life. And I'm sure as we speak, she's being glorified in heaven, if you believe in heaven anyway. So that is the way it works. And so discover your purpose on time and begin to pursue it. Ensure your purpose is linked with your gift, your talent, and your special ability and passion. Write one action you must do each day that aligns with your purpose and talent today, and then begin to work on it. Receive a bigger picture or vision of what you need to do. As you begin to work on it, God will begin to reveal to you how to implement that particular project or assignment. So receive a project. You can have a bigger project that will expand your lifetime. You break it down into yearly projects, into weekly projects, into daily projects, and begin to pursue it on a daily basis. And stop saying you need one capital. Start with whatever you have, and it will grow. Every big thing, every project of God starts small. You just see the way God has made us human beings. We started with one single cell inside our mother's womb, and then one multiplied to 2 cells, 2 to 4 cells, and then the hands began, and the other parts of the body were being formed. And that is when then now became so big like this. Some of us so fat that, and then so gigantic that you'll be wondering, where did this person come? Where did we emerge from? And that is just the way of God. The same thing. We are just all the projects, the galaxies, everything started small like that over years, and that became bigger and bigger and bigger, and was growing bigger and bigger. So this simple action we are celebrating, you are sending your talent leadership through. If you just obey this simple, follow this simple instruction I'm sharing with you, you are ordained. Just remember always that you are ordained for dominion. From the beginning, he said, let us make man in our image, let them have dominion. That's the agenda of God, and you are going to have dominion in your area of gifting and talent and calling as you focus on it and begin to do something along that area each day. So don't forget that this is very important. You're ordained for dominion. You're ordained a king and a queen. He said in Revelations that he said, I've ordained you king and priest, and you shall reign upon the earth. So don't forget this. He also said in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 and 2, he said, if you diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, he will set you above the nations. That's leadership for you. And in verse 13 says, you shall be the head and not the tail. Okay, so you can see so many areas. These are part of the affirmations we say you should declare. You have to believe these fundamental truths and begin to proclaim them and work towards them. And one way to actually ascend that throne, because it's not until you go to your village before you become a king. That's not the kind of king we're talking about here. It's becoming a king in your area of gift, in your area of talent, in your area of calling. You become the leader. You become the number one. That's the plan. That is what it means to be a king in your area of calling. It's not until you go to one village and they begin to now saddle you with some traditions that will now begin to pollute your spirituality. So that's not what we're talking about. So you need to be conscious about it. This is very important. So, and you discover that, you see, in your area of talent, it will be easier for you to flow and grow and become better and better, because it's your area. You have a natural flair for that particular thing. So you are not struggling. So you find easier expression in your area of talent and strongest intelligence. If you are cut out, for instance, for calculation, and you have too gifted with calculus, you don't need to struggle. Unlike somebody who doesn't know anything, who doesn't like figures, that person will just be struggling when it comes to figure. That's what we are talking about. So ensure you also have a talent project for each month, for each quarter, for each year, and ultimately for your lifespan. And then you begin to work it, you focus it. So 3 vital things when it comes to talent. When the men has begin to wrap up on this part now, you have to correctly discover, you have to correctly develop, and then deploy it. There's a book on this already. And in fact, we're about uploading it to Amazon so you can have access to it. But meanwhile, if you can wait, you can just get across to me, through my contact details. You will see it in the PowerPoint slides. and then, DOTTECC@gmail.com. Then I can always share that material with you. So you are you're very eager to begin to make a mark on your talent leadership development drive. So, and then of course, the second one, which I've shared with you repeatedly, is the sleep hygiene. Switch off all your tabs, make sure you align yourself to that time of sleep, and then go ahead and begin to apply the principles of the sleep hygiene reset I've shared with you in the previous days. So I see you rising to the top in a short while by the grace of God. Don't forget, this particular exercise we are sharing with you today is one of the most prominent ones that we announce with your world. Your prosperity, your peace, your joy, your shining forth as a star to the world is actually aligned or linked with the fulfillment of this assignment exercise we have just shared with you in this day 4. So it's a new day for you. See you at the top by the grace of God. And don't allow anything to distract you as you continue in this drive. God bless you.